Hello children, welcome to another session of Geography Class 8, Population Dynamics. So before we commence, let us have a quick recap of what we have studied in our earlier session. In our earlier session, we have studied about the migration and population change. What is migration? And we have studied that there are two types of migration, international migration and internal migration. Apart from that, in our last session, we had also studied about the composition of population, like it comprises of the ethnic characteristics, race, tribes, language, religion, etc. Then this population composition can be studied by the way of population pyramid. Children, I told you about the population pyramid last time. It is also called the age-sex pyramid, in which one side it is made in the shape of a pyramid, and it is a graphical illustration that shows the distribution of various age groups in the population. Now this population pyramid helps us to find out how many males, females are there in a society or in a country, how many are employed, what is the age of the birth rate of that country, the death rate, and how many are the economically active people in that country. So we had made a comparative study of the population pyramid of India, Kenya, Japan and the United States. Now for today, we start with the rural and the urban population. Let us focus on the rural and the urban population. Today, 55% of the world population lives in the urban areas, a proportion that is expected to increase to 68% by 2050. So this 55% of the world population is expected to rise to 68% by 2050. Projections show that the urbanization, the gradual shift in the residence of the human population from the rural to urban areas, combined with the overall growth of the world population, could add another 2.5 billion people to the urban areas by 2050, which close to 90% of this increase taking place in Asia and Africa, according to a new United Nations report. So what is this new report telling us of United Nations? It is telling us that by 2050, there will be an added 2.5 billion people to the urban areas, and this is mostly taking place in Asia and Africa. The continents of Asia and Africa will see this leap in the increase in the urban population. Now people are migrating towards the urban areas more because of the employment facilities and overall to have a good a luxurious way of life or a better living. They are migrating from the rural areas to the urban areas. Now the urban population of the world has grown rapidly from 751 million in 1950 to 4.2 billion in 2018. Asia, despite its relatively lower level of urbanization, is a home to 54% of the world urban population, followed by Europe and Africa with 13% each. Today, the most urbanized regions include Northern America with 82% population living in the urban areas in 2018, then Latin America and the Caribbean 81%, Europe 74% and Oceania 68%. The level of urbanization in Asia is now approximating 50%. In contrast, Africa remains mostly rural with 43% of the population living in urban areas. So this is an estimate where in which of the continents what is the percentage of urban population? Now we come to Tokyo, being the world's largest city with an agglomeration of 37 million inhabitants. Followed by New Delhi with 29 million, Shanghai 26 million, and the Mexico City and the Sao Paulo, each with around 22 million inhabitants. Today, Cairo, Mumbai, Beijing and Dhaka all have close to 20 million inhabitants. By 2020, Tokyo's population is projected to begin to decline, while Delhi is projected to continue growing and to become one of the most populous cities in the world around 2028. By 2030, the world is projected to have 43 megacities and more than 10 million inhabitants, most of them in developing regions. As the world continues to urbanize, sustainable development depends increasingly on the successful management of urban growth, especially in low-income and lower middle-income countries, where the pace of urbanization is projected to be the fastest. So it has been seen that in the low-income and the lower middle-income countries, the pace of urbanization in these countries is at a faster rate. Many countries will face challenges in meeting the needs of their growing urban populations, including for the housing, transportation, energy systems and other infrastructure, as well as for employment and basic services such as education and healthcare. So we are facing now with the growing urbanization. Many countries are going to face these challenges. There will be, because more and more people will be coming towards the cities and residing, so there will be problems in housing, transportation, energy systems. There might be problems for employment. Basic services will not be available like education and healthcare. Okay, with this we come to the end of the chapter and we move to the question answers. And I hope that the short answers have been done by you in your copy. Children, please do all the short answers. I think they are very easy and can be easily done. And I want you to do it in an interleaved copy. Is that clear? In case you do not get the interleaved copy, you may do it in any other copy or register and later on stick it to your interleaved copy. Okay, for the B part, that is the answer the following question in detail, this we are going to discuss. So, the first one, please children follow the answers also. Explain the population change in the world from 1820 onwards. And for this answer, we move on to page number 25. So, population change, let me see, I have page number 25 with me, yes. And the population change since 1820, I am reading out this part to you. In 1820, the world population reached 1 billion. 150 years later, in the early 1970s, the world population reached 3 billion. This is often called population explosion. In 2010, less than 45 years later, the population doubled to 6 billion. The main reasons for its growth were better food supplies, availability of health facilities, cheap goods and other things due to industrialization. Till here, children, you will write the answer for question number 1, long answer question number 1. Now for the next question. The next question is The next question is, what is the population composition and what is its importance? And for the population composition, children, please note down. The population composition is on page 27, and please note down the answer. Composition of population, it is the second paragraph under population composition. Composition of population is a vast field comprising ethnic, races, tribes, language, religion, literacy and education, age, sex, economically active population, and many more traits. Then we come to the second last line. It helps us to know how many are males or females, comma, which age group they belong to, comma, how educated they are and what type of occupations they are employed in, comma, what their income levels and health conditions. So this is the question for what is the population composition and what is its importance. The second part is telling us the importance of population composition. Okay, our next question is, what is the impact of overpopulation? And to know the impact of overpopulation, we come to page number 24. Page number 24, and impact of overpopulation. There are 3 points and we'll be briefly describe these 3 points, like if we write about the depletion of natural resources. So then we explain that the effect of overpopulation are quite severe. The first of these is the depletion of resources. The earth can only produce a limited amount of water and food, which is falling short of the current needs. So this is how the depletion of population and degradation of the environment. With the overuse of coal, oil and natural gas, it has started producing some serious effects on our environment. Third, rise in unemployment. When a country becomes overpopulated, it gives rise to unemployment as there are fewer jobs to support large number of people. Is that clear? This is the answer for impact of overpopulation. And our next question is, what is the state 3 impact of underpopulation? And for that we come to page number 25, and there are 3 impacts of underpopulation mentioned. Firstly, the lack of adequate manpower. You will explain this, that underpopulation results to the shortage of labor, with that attendant effect of low investments and income. Then underutilization of resources. Resources are highly underutilized in a country with low population. And third, lack of people to defend the country. At times of war and emergency, a country might find it difficult to mobilize enough people to defend it. So these are the 3 points which come under the impact of underpopulation. Okay. Now the next question, we have all these questions. Back to our page. Now we do this little. Now in your registers, the copies, that is the interleaved copies, I expect you to do A and B. For the C, that is match the following, you will do it in the book itself. Let us do. Now it says that the country with the low density of population. Now low density of population, it should not be the country, because Sahara is not a country, it is a region and it has a low density of population. So we keep this E as the first one, that is the country, northern, instead of country make it region of low density of population. Second one is country with high density of population. Now India is a country with high density of population, so you can mark India for high density of population. Then the third one, high population growth rate. High population growth rate is in Kenya. And the fourth one, slow population growth rate. Slow population growth rate is B, United Kingdom. And the population with the highest, country with the highest population, we all know is China. Next we come to, okay, we'll do till here. The next, these exercises we'll do in our next session. So till then, goodbye and keep safe. Thank you.